Tater Tots, and welcome to the Dick Family Basement on this wonderful, cold Thursday. This is the weekly rundown. If you're new here, it's where myself and my wonderful wife... Oh, I didn't even have her mic on. Just hold on. Okay, let's do that
Catherine.
again. Yeah, Catherine, where we just...
Is that what you're just going to have me here and have my mic turned off?
No, sorry. Well, I wish I could do that in real life. Just have your mic turned off. That'd be kind of awesome. Anyways, today is a sponsored episode. That's right. We have a sponsor. It is, it's Valentine's Day is coming up, and there is someone that's making cherry tiramisu for $20, serves two. Heart-shaped ice cookies, half dozen for $10. Red velvet cookies for $10. Yes, that's right. Is my daughter who's sponsoring today's episode. If you are interested, if you are in the Moose Jaw area or through the Moose Jaw area, before February, so she's taking orders until February 6th, and you can pick up the treats at the office on February 14th, cash only. If you have any questions or comments, please just send me an email or text me or just comments below, and I'll give you the information how to order. But today's episode is sponsored by, I don't know what's a cool name. She makes cookies, Serafina Cookies and Kimchi has sponsored today's episode. Another thing too is we actually have a someone using the 1844 number. So let's just get that off the hop right now. Let's just do that right now.
Yes, this is Father Malone. On that topic or subject of the peculiarity or the particularity of placement, the permanence of placement. Yes, in our diocese, seeing this trend, of course, it's almost like a regression that we had a few comfortable decades where we did have our parish priests, in situ for long periods of time. I just learned here in Swift Current that the first 70 years of the parish here in Swift Current had two pastors for 70 years. But needs being what they are, we are being stretched very thinly, and it is sort of like a regression to the missionary days of old. Who knows how far that will regress, but in the general culture, this thing about the particularity, we just prefer, it's a modern culture, sort of interchangeable cogs, and what I call sort of the great trend towards everything becoming the same gray goo. Anyway, have a good morning, Deacon Lamont. God bless.
So that was from the illustrious Father Malone. I do have one quibble, I guess, on that whole thing. He's talking about permanence. It's like this. I think we can still go back to permanence. It's just there is no real will for that any longer for priests to stay in one place permanently. One of the things, and I didn't mention this last week, if you don't know what this is all talking about, last week we talked about permanence and the role of the monastic orders within the church, and to give a role model of permanence in a community when it comes to a clergy. One of the things that I've really tried to do as being director of deacons is making sure that the deacons are a permanent fixture of a community, that we are there for long periods of time, that we just don't move around, every 7 years or anything else like that. So it's one of my small ways that I can live out that call of permanence. So yeah, this is kind of a different thing. We had a commercial and also the 1844 number right off the hop. So if you would like to use the 1844 number, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, or just a prank call, if you just feel like, hey, I want a prank call. I was talking to the young adults yesterday about all the tomfoolery I used to do, and one of the young adults said, oh, and you grew out of that. And a person that knows me quite well, shout out to James, says, no, he's just a lot more just under the radar about the stuff he does.
That's good, because you have to think about keeping a job.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways.
My brother and I were talking about that yesterday, that thank God we grew up in a time when there wasn't, videos, or like every phone had a camera.
Do you know that we've been married longer than Stephen has been on this earth? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, well, we're old, babe.
Not that old. Come on. We're young at heart. I hate when people say that. But anyways.
That we're old or that young at heart? Which
Young
of
at
those
heart
is your
part.
issue?
No, young at heart. Anyways, you can phone us at 1-844-340-5001. Okay, so what is news? That is news for me. We start with sports. Bucks are not great. Does Giannis, Giannis probably needs to get traded. Who knows? T-Wolves lost to the Utah Jazz. That is not good. If anyone knows anything about basketball, Utah Jazz is not a good team, and we lost them even though we were up. And St. Agnes basketball that I coach, we are 3-0, and we play today. This should be our season-defining game in a sense. We'll see. We haven't had a really strong challenge, I guess, up to this point. This week we had a game that I thought was going to be very, very challenging, and it turned out it was not. So hopefully today will be. We're playing in the new school, so I'm pretty excited about that. I went to St. Agnes. So there's a teacher there, Mrs. Lickenwald, who I've been doing this, I'm trying to think, for, I don't know, maybe 7 years now. Wherever school she teaches at, I do a big thing about holy water and stuff like this. It's always fun with those kids. It was super fun. Doing some home visits, which is always good, and stuff like meeting people that want to be Catholic. We have a pretty strong group now. So, it's very exciting, and preparing people for upcoming marriages also. That's just a few things that have been going on work-wise and everything else like that. How about you, Catherine? How was your week?
Do you prepare that? Because I was mentally, I was trying to retrieve. I just been doing schoolwork.
Okay, so
washing dishes and going to work.
Okay, so what I try to do every day is I try to review what I've done. I have this little book
wow. Yeah, no, that's all I've been up to.
Because so in my job, some people say, oh, what do you do in a day, right? There's always and this is not all that I did, right? There's other stuff that is private or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not
But there is some parishioners will ask me, well, what have you done lately? Basically, what do you do?
So I guess you have a ready answer.
Yeah, and
no one's really asking me to account for my time that way.
So what's interesting is in Elizabeth, every secretary we've ever had, which in my life has been 2. I'm so happy that we've had really good secretaries, or even priests that come in, always are amazed how busy we are. It's a very busy parish. And if you're just a parishioner in the pews, you probably wouldn't know that. You probably wouldn't know how busy it is. Oh, and we had, special shout out yesterday was the young adults group, and we had Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was really good.
That was awesome because Seraphy and I got leftover Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, so. It was pretty awesome. Okay, or anything else of note last week that you would like to talk about? You haven't been here for 2 weeks, so maybe anything,
I've been doing the same stuff for 2 weeks.
Sweet. Boring life is a good life. That's what I say.
How
is your classes going?
Good, actually.
Yeah, you're taking Eastern churches?
Yeah, Eastern churches. I'm really enjoying that one. Particular churches, sorry.
Yeah.
And the church and the relationship between the church and political communities.
It's been kind of interesting. You're doing your first thing is about the Coptic church, so that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's been really interesting. So I guess I've been spending lots of time going down rabbit holes on the internet.
So there's a young gentleman, I won't name any names, but he gets obsessed about certain things. And right now it's about tattoos, and if tattoos are wrong and everything else. He told me that, first of all, this is kind of hilarious. He goes to me, we should start a basic catechesis, because a lot of these young adults don't know the faith or whatever. We can start out with really basic stuff about tattoos. And I'm
it's interesting that would be a basic starting point.
Exactly. It's one. I said, yeah, we have cohabitation, addiction to pornography and betting. But yeah, let's start with tattoos. And there's another gentleman in our group saying, well, the Coptics, and I didn't even tell him that you're doing. Well, the Coptics tattoo themselves. Do you think that's wrong?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I haven't. That's actually not. I have not got to how Coptics tattoo themselves. I guess
they do.
I know, but that's not part of my assignment. So I've been looking at tradition and if they can have married clergy and about when they celebrate Christmas and Easter, special saints, that sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Although you sent me a whole bunch of stuff, and it said translate, but it only translates the first page, so the rest of it's in Arabic.
I think you can. Anyways, I think you can force translate or whatever.
I was looking at that. I was just thinking, that's a really interesting. It looks so different than.
What do you mean?
Like
the
Arabic,
oh,
yeah, it's like
Arabic,
it's even hard for me to kind of distinguish the
Yeah.
letters. I guess I should,
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it at all. Anyway, that's what I've been up to.
Oh yeah. So kind of order stream of consciousness, or as I've been calling now,
Disordered consciousness.
that's my life right there. Probably obscure thoughts. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Anyways, so Advent campaign was very successful, and I promised a little bit of an update. I'm going to be giving some updates in the next few weeks also. It's just that I'm trying to carve out some time to get some certain things done. I've asked you for any ideas that you would want something new or exciting here at In the Redeemer. And of course, like in the past, I've got zero response to that. So either I'm doing a really great job or a real horrible job. Those are extremes. I'm thinking I'm in somewhere in between. First and foremost, as my wife always points out, I say that quite often, we got to redo the rosary. And I'm going to get us to come and do the rosary in the next few weeks. And I'm going to get Serafina to recite the mysteries and stuff like that, the part of that. But one of the things I've noticed within the Redeemer, the things that get the most traction. So I was excited to do all the studies and everything else like this, Vatican II or whatever. But actually what gets the most traction is sort of spiritual practice. So that's what I'm proposing. I'm going to be working on sort of a spiritual practice, a daily sort of, not a reflection on the gospel, but sort of have the foundation of the Redemptorists, that sort of St. Alphonsus spirituality. So as you know, St. Alphonsus developed, the monthly virtues. He also has these daily aphorisms that he, got, used in his own prayer life. And then he has a particular way of meditating on sacred scripture and holy writing and stuff like that. So I'm looking at that, but I'm very interested in what you would like to see. I am very interested in, would you like another study or something like that? I kind of started and stopped last year a lot because it is a lot of preparation. I guess my rule of thumb is just to do. So maybe if people really want to have a study or a book reading kind of group or whatever, then we might just dive right in, just do it up, so to speak. But I would really like your feedback on this. I'm going to give people updates in these next couple of, going forward, I'm going to give regular updates on what's happening here at In the Redeemer. I was thinking doing some more written stuff or whatever, but that's just not, for me to write like a page of text will take me probably 100 hours, I think, to make it properly. So it is, it's kind of a struggle that way. Do you have anything to say, Catherine, about In the Redeemer or anything you would like to see here?
Not really.
Yeah, it's.
I'm just along for the ride.
It's a podcast. Like, it's only audio, right? So if you shake your head,
no, but I'm just
there,
thinking like that's from the start of this. I've just been along for the ride, just following whatever you're doing.
Really?
Pretty much.
Well, that's not completely true, but
in this one instance, in the Redeemer, it is.
Okay. All right. So. And the one thing that I wanted to talk about other than the Advent campaign for this Obscure Thoughts is something that I've been, I don't know, there's been lots of people coming to me about this thing. And basically it boils down to the role of news in our lives or information or, we are bombarded by so much stuff. Here's some backdrop of my own life. So this started during Advent, that I was really trying to decouple from a lot of like information stuff. I was trying to wean my way off of YouTube and stuff like this because I just used it as a crutch to waste time. And I was being a little bit more judicious. I guess I don't know if that's the right word or whatever. Just a little bit more discerning on even the podcast I'm listening to. So for me, growing up, one of the best things I did with my dad is listen to the news. My dad was very up on news stuff. He would get the newspaper. There was this really obscure, not really obscure, but it was called The European that he would get every week at this newsstand, and it was awesome. I'd read through it and everything else. I still have clippings of that, as my wife is shaking her head. Like, I was looking through some of my, before the internets and stuff like this, I used to clip newspaper articles like this, so I still have some of these. They're probably at least 35 years old, which is crazy, at least. Anyways, and it's like this. And so it's been sort of part of my life. And And, to be very honest, like I tell people, like if I could get this information intravenously, I would. But I realized over the last few years that information that my dad and I consumed, it's like this, is really radically different than what it is today. There is really no editorial. There's no gatekeepers. And I think that's a plus, like it's pros and cons to that. But at least when I opened up the European, there was these articles were vetted. They were, all this other stuff. Now, of course, there's biases and everything else like this, and we can bemoan the fact that, there is these people that kind of control the thought or the information that's going out. Now it's like a free-for-all. We don't need that. But in a sense that I'm not that smart to know what's important and what's not in some senses. And another thing is, am I a good steward with the information that I'm given? Or does it just either make me mad, angry, or this is the biggest one. Does it just make me be skeptical of humanity or put people in such a light that it's hard for me to look at people as persons? I think that's the biggest thing for me. Now, I get a lot of people coming, and this is kind of, even in my A&W, I bet you every time that people come, there's at least one sort of question about the news or this, that, the other thing. And I think that we have this, in our modern world, we have this very perverted idea of that we have the right to know, that somehow that we have the right to know. Now, I of course, like I think it's good to know what's going on in the world or whatever, but how is that affecting your spiritual life? How is that affecting your life, period, right? Is it causing division within your family and stuff like that? Is it causing, you not getting a good sleep or anything else like that? I think it is good for us to really think about how we are consuming. I'm doing a lot more reading of newspapers with press review and stuff like that, which I think is a little bit better. I don't know. I too struggle with this in a sense, but I do think that we, that it's hard for us. Anyways, this is the reaction I get when I tell people maybe you shouldn't read that news from that site or something like that because it's not bearing good fruit. And there's almost this indignation that, like, how dare you say that to me because it's my right to know. Well, if I know what's going on, like let's say the scandals of the church, and I have no either power, authority, or stewardship to change that, what is that doing, right? How is that, if it's motivating me to pray and to be let my heart to the church and to say, Lord Jesus, and offering sacrifices and fasting, then I think that's great. If it's just motivating you to be cynical and despairing, then it is not. Anyways, I just throwing that out to people. Go ahead.
I don't know. I was thinking, like, you don't even need me here.
Oh, I do. Anyway, sorry. Like, I had just a little footnote. I had this topic planned out before I knew you were coming. But what do you think about that? Like, you consume quite a bit of content and stuff like that, wouldn't you say?
I love how you say that.
Why?
I don't know.
I think we all do, actually.
Yeah, I guess. Like, I guess in the scheme of things.
Yeah.
Well, you and I are not reading the same stuff.
Well, what kind of stuff are you reading?
Nothing high level. Like, I'm not going and finding like newspapers online.
Yeah, but you do like there.
Yeah, because I was just telling you about the coyote situation.
Yeah. No,
I don't know. Like, I guess there needs to be a balance. Like, I don't think that you need to be totally cut off from the world. I know that's not what you're saying, but like then people, the thing about balance is that you have to figure out what the balance looks like for yourself.
Right.
And I guess look at the fruits and I consume lots of stuff like this useless or it's not really going like, I don't know.
Just like kind of, and I think that's okay. I think that's
well, right. I don't know. Like, I guess like that's what I'm just thinking. You didn't really get into specifics. Like you're specifically talking about news or just any kind of like going to like YouTube or.
Well, I think I think one of the reasons is we should really ask ourselves, why are we consuming this content? Like, so let's go out of news, just any sort of content. And
sometimes, but I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I come home from work, and then after I do some schoolwork, I'm just tired.
Right. So when you
so
want
like
to just go
I know
to bed?
Some people have it's 7:30 at night.
Yeah,
and so I'm just giving you some context, and I'm like, I feel like I'm too tired to do more schoolwork, or more work,
right?
Okay, and I want to do something that's like not very mentally demanding,
right?
So it's either watching TV or like probably like scrolling on my phone,
right?
I think that's why people
Yeah, and for me, I'm trying to get out of that habit.
Okay, so
somehow.
what do you do when you're tired and you don't want to do like more work?
Okay, you want the honest answer?
Yes.
Okay, so I do something that, like, sometimes if that happens and if it's too early, I just sit with my thoughts.
No. My brain goes like, that's the other day. I got up at 4 a.m. and then I couldn't get back to sleep because then I started thinking about stuff and then I go with my sleep.
Right.
And I'm already getting crappy sleeps.
It's true. One of the things that's really helped me actually to
Corral your thoughts.
Yeah, is Eucharistic adoration on Wednesdays.
Oh,
I think it's been very helpful for me.
so maybe I just need more quiet time.
Yeah, I think so. I think we do. I think
Maybe I should just institute like 15 minutes of like,
yes.
I'd have to start small. There's no way like,
Yeah.
I also was thinking this is why people have hobbies though. I did actually think that, and you know how I feel about hobbies, about how I feel about vitamins.
Right. You think that it's all foolishness. I know.
No, I'm skeptical, but you know what? Most of my students are pro vitamins. We talked about that the other day.
Okay.
Anyway, that's why people have hobbies. It's something that I guess that's not scrolling on their phone or watching TV. That's not super mentally demanding.
Right. Sort of like board
But I
games.
was like, yeah, I still find board game. Okay, that's maybe for you, but I'm like, I don't know. We've had this conversation before. I think it's like, I don't know. I think I'm too old to find a hobby.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Here's a great task for all you faithful listeners out there. Use my 1-844 number, 1-844-340-5001, and give Catherine a suggestion for a hobby.
Gosh. Okay, and I know all of you are going to go something into like
You can't.
stupid crafts.
Okay.
So let's give you some context. I got a D- in art. How do I know that? My mom actually sent me all my old report cards. So like there's verification of that. I have no eye-hand coordination as well. So you need to think about all the hobbies that require eye-hand coordination. Like someone's going to suggest like knitting or crocheting or beadwork or something, embroidery. Those are all out. Anything that has an artistic component out.
Okay. I'll give
Also anything that requires like any kind of tools.
I'll give you a special prize if you phone in, use my 1-844 number, and suggest Catherine to do crocheting or knitting, and then give a very passionate reason
No,
why.
everyone I know has always said that to me. Like my neighbor way back was like, anyone can crochet. And then she tried to show me. It's like, no, I'm one of the ones like, no, I can't. Or like I make so many mistakes. Someone tried to show me how to like cross stitch. Like I've tried these things.
Yeah.
I've lived with nuns for 3 years. Let me tell you, some of them are like real, like passionate about crafts.
Okay.
They tried.
I'm just going to say something here.
Yeah.
Would you say you're kind of a stubborn person?
Not really. Like compared to who?
Oh my gosh.
Compared to my other
world.
family members?
Compared to the world, I think you might be the most stubborn and
That can't be possible.
Dare I say asinine people I know. And I'm pretty sure your identity as an anti-crafter is just who you are now.
Okay,
Sort of
no,
like my
but,
sister with dinosaurs.
I'm trying to tell you
No.
that like people suggest things and it's just like
You could do it.
I don't think you.
I think you're just a perfectionist and you wanted everything to be perfect. Like, why don't you just embrace the mistakes?
You should have seen me yesterday when I had like a little
How about writing letters?
pencil sharpener and it has like 2 screws that I actually figured out how to take out with like the screwdriver. But then I was trying to put the blades back in and I was looking at it for like 5 minutes and I was like, I don't understand. I had to flip the blade around. Like,
You know what?
I'm telling you.
Good for you to do stuff that you're not good at. You're struggling
There's a
with.
whole long list
No,
of that.
there isn't, actually.
Oh my gosh. Anything that requires, that's like handy factor.
Hey, here's a hobby. Why don't you just write letters? That's a good one. You can do that.
Oh, I feel like that's
you're
still-
a you're
First
a
of all, I
words.
think I'm getting a little carpal tunnel in this hand, so
Oh,
and I'm taking
boy.
tons of notes. So like that would not work until I'm done with the school for this semester.
Seems like you don't really want a hobby.
Well, I don't want a hobby that's going to be like painting like walnuts
Okay.
and making them into little people.
You always use this example. Like, man, you hold on to stuff so hard.
I
man.
just as an example, okay?
You know, back in '84, I painted a nuts.
My point, okay.
And I put little googly eyes on them, and they looked ridiculous. I hated it.
My point is that I look at lots of people, or like people who do like woodworking. Can you imagine me doing
I
woodworking?
think you'd be good.
Oh my god!
It could be a little bit wonky, but it'd still be all right.
See, I think that's the other thing. I feel like I would look at the results of it, and it's like if I'm spending money to create something that looks
Why are you
like
so
terrible.
results orientated?
I think because that's just I'm results orientated. I think more people should be results orientated. Actually,
I think people that are
Mm.
results orientated shouldn't be, and people that aren't results orientated probably should be.
Like, have you had hobbies your whole life?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I have interest. You know this. I have lots of
But
different.
interests are different than hobbies.
Not
like,
really.
I have,
like I have a lot.
interests are things you want to like know something. I have interests, lots of interests that way, but then that leads to like scrolling on the internet or like.
Oh, but for me, my interest leads to like hands-on stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I was thinking I used to do a lot of like ham radio stuff. I was thinking maybe how to get back into that. What?
I don't know. That's like I guess what I'm thinking about.
You're just thinking of me of like a stone cold nerd. I get you.
Well,
I get you.
I don't know.
I see you.
It was a
I know.
cool factor.
How do we?
Or
Ever...
someone's gonna suggest something with electronics, like robotics or something. I like blow something up.
How did we ever get to know each other? Like how did we end up like 25 years of marriage?
Mystery.
Total mystery.
That's what my dad would say. It's a mystery.
Okay, I think we've. So the next thing I need to have one of the things I want to do in the Advent
You
campaign.
said
has
ham
some,
radio.
Yeah.
For a hobby.
Yeah, what's wrong with ham? Do you know what ham radio is? I don't understand.
Explain it to me. Make sure I understand.
Well, you tell me first. It has nothing to do with hams. You know that, right?
Yes, I know that at least.
Okay. What's ham radio?
Like, isn't it contacting other people? Like, I feel like those people, like sometimes they have those really long antenna on their vehicles or on their houses.
Okay, those are CB radios. A 2-meter radio is a very short. I'm getting bullied on my own podcast.
No,
here.
all I'm showing is my ignorance. Like, I don't know why you're feeling like you're bullied.
Well, okay. Anyways, what games did we play last week? Well, I did play Century Golem Edition with Terry. Shout out Terry. And I also played with Serafina. I really lost badly to Terry. He's a very good board game player, and I was very, very distracted, and I beat Serafina, and Serafina loves that game, so it's good. Hopefully this coming up week, I can play a little bit more board games. If you are in the Moose Jaw area and would like to play some board games, please let me know. I finished most of my books from last week, and I think I already talked about that.
Did you talk about the romance one?
Yeah, the Omega Point. Yeah, it was weird. Done and weird. That's what I have in my notes here today. The Herd, I'm going to write the author. I think I mentioned that last week. It's kind of interesting. Now I'm reading some fantasy books. So I'll talk about it next week or whatever. Things that I'm watching.
That's why people want to come back. So they can
Well,
hear
no,
about
it's
your
because
books.
we're running out of time.
Oh, yeah,
here.
because I kind of went on the hobby rant.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyways, what are we watching? Serafina and I are still watching Stranger Things completely. Like, we're in season 4, and the episodes are just way too long. They're just dragging it out. The writing is okay. I think the initial concept of it is kind of really interesting. I think how they went about, fleshing it out has been, I don't know. It's too, I don't know. Anyways, all this little side quests are a little bit tiresome. Catherine and I are watching like H-Jack, like Hijack season 1.
We're also watching Will Trent.
Oh yeah, and Will Trent. Will Trent's awesome.
I really like Will Trent. I like the characters in it.
Yeah, the writing's very well. And the acting overall is good, except for one character. Acting is just hot trash. But anyways.
Okay, well, we disagree on that. And honestly, all that you talk about when we watch Will Trent is about the woman,
Penny.
One of the woman characters is pregnant, and all you do is talk about the baby.
Yeah, we're gonna have a baby.
There
was an ultrasound last episode.
I don't know if I know anyone who's like,
no, everyone is pro baby.
Yeah, okay. Like, people aren't going to say they're like, my point is that, but you like legitimately, like, I'm a little scared of babies.
What? How can you be scared of babies?
Oh my gosh, because they cry and then they don't stop and you don't know what's making them cry. You still don't know how to make it stop.
Hold a baby, and the best feeling in the world,
like
you hold a baby,
okay.
And then what they do is they realize, because I'm a bigger dude, is that there's real estate, and then they just do a starfish on your
chest. A sleeping
chest.
baby, there's absolutely nothing like it. But I'm saying there's also the potential for it to be super stressful.
I guess so.
And overwhelming. Yeah, see, I know you don't experience, like, you don't think about stuff like that.
Not really. Yeah, I'm pro baby.
Yeah, I'm not. Okay.
I got it.
But you're like so.
Yeah, Will Trent's awesome. I even forgot about the baby. Yeah, it's probably next.
That's all
episodes.
you talk about when we're watching it.
Well, there was an ultrasound. You could see the little baby.
Okay, this is case in point. Okay.
I don't know. Babies are awesome. Okay. I do have a disputed area, but I'm going to skip it. It's just all love today yet again. And now,
Oh, I'm curious in the disputed area.
well, maybe next time
Maybe I'll have to go on a date night. I know
to watch about to talk about the disputed
You know what?
area?
It's really too bad people cannot see your like nonverbals because I
Why?
said date night and you looked like what? Like why would I do that?
Yeah, why would we have a date so we can talk about a disputed area?
Oh, because my idea of a good date would be like some sort of like, verbal sparring. It's
We
like,
do that all the time.
I
So
know,
our
it's
whole
very
day,
enjoyable.
our whole day is a date then.
Okay.
Okay, inconsequential hot
Okay.
take. Do you have an inconsequential hot take?
No. Other than
on.
our inconsequential hot takes, like things that don't matter. Maybe
Yes.
hobbies are overrated.
Okay, perfect.
Even though I'm asking for one, but I'm still convinced that I don't know. Not necessarily hobbies are overrated. Hobbies are for people who are like handy.
Okay.
That are good with
Just
their
not-
hands.
Not true.
I think so.
Okay, here's my inconsequential hot take. Small talk is a waste of time. It's overrated.
What?
Yep. Silence is fine. Silence is good.
Okay, that's fine when you're
No,
at
no,
home.
no.
You're going to meet someone and you're just going to sit in silence?
Yeah.
What about at a job interview?
Well, what do you mean? No, that's not a small talk
Well, it
situation.
could be a small talk situation.
An interview is not like.
No, but
where's
like
your
at the start of an
category?
interview?
Where's your categories, bro?
Okay, let's go back to so where is this small talk happening that you think you just
Like
going to sit in
groups.
silence?
Uh,
I think that's different. But you know the people. I think the scenarios you're thinking of is I already know these people and then we're sitting in silence. I mean, you're meeting people and
yeah,
you're
let's
just
say at
gonna,
a party. At a party, like it's okay just to be silent.
or to stop a conversation in the middle of it and just stop talking.
Okay, that's just being rude.
But wouldn't that be a form of silence?
Yeah, but I mean, like we just don't
So-
start the conversation. We're just in
Wow.
silence. Silence is underrated. I think silence.
Okay,
is
that
fine.
part probably is true, but I think small talk is valuable.
I didn't say it was not valuable. I think it's overrated.
Okay.
I think small talk is a lot of times is a waste of time. Here in
Got-
Canada, our small talk is only talking about weather, anyways, which
Yeah,
is
but that's,
really cool.
it's like a neutral thing that you can talk to someone else. It's like a connection. That's like
It's
you don't
supposed
have
to
to
be
talk about Donald Trump or about something really controversial. You can talk about the weather.
I can't believe my inconsequential hot take actually really got under your skin. That's hilarious.
You're surprised that you said something that got under my skin?
No, I do that all the time.
Exactly.
Anyways, this is the end. We are.
Yeah, I got to go put out the recycling.
Oh, Maeve is teaching the challenged girls about small talk. Yeah, just tell them just to be quiet. Just sit in silence.
I want to know
Be
I
mysterious.
Okay, so Maeve should phone into the 184 number, whatever that I don't know, and share the tips.
Yeah, share the tips of small talk.
And then we
which
can get Lamont trying to put them into practice next week.
I am a ninja when it comes to small talk, man. I am.
Yeah, I'm not saying
amazing.
you're bad, but I just want to know what these tips are and I want to see what you do with them.
Oh, small talk is so draining. Anyways,
Maybe that's the truth of it.
no.
Okay.
Okay, we are done. We're not going to run any longer. Anyways, thank you very much for joining us. We were 33 minutes, so 30 minutes over our allotted time. And please just stay here, and we'll be praying the Divine Mercy Chaplet at 7:00. Until next time, God bless. Have a great day, and keep it crispy, militator tots. Bye.
Bye.